show again. I managed to do a little bit of screen exploring, and I decided to, you know, colonize this peaceful village. Now, it's on the title of this video. I think you know where we're headed. Now, Why am I trying to debate two mental disorders that are very scary to have? But you're gonna have to hear me out. Now, what's the difference between schizophrenia and dementia? Well, we can just dive into the definitions. So, schizophrenia is defined as a person with a mental disorder. Some of the symptoms being voices, hallucinations, and attaching unusual significance to normal events. Dementia is defined as a condition where the one affected cannot remember, think, or make decisions properly. Now, the reason I wanted to debate this topic today, it's over the fact of what happened to me just a couple of days ago. I was out with one of my friends, and we managed to delve in this topic deeper because of the fact that whilst we were walking, we found this old lady that was speaking to herself. First sight, we were just confused, saying, she was just on her phone. She might have been just talking to someone with an earpiece. But when we walked by that person, she kept turning around, looking down, up and down her feet, which I would presume she was talking to a child. But she spoke in a language that I didn't understand, and my friends managed to understand that language. And so I was just asking them, what was she trying to say? And my friends tell me in the most shocking fashion, she's talking about having family problems with a family member when no one was around her. Once I heard that, my brain literally blew up. Never seen, dementia or schizophrenia other than, posting on reels. But, seeing that for the first time kind of was a shocker to see. And the thing that surprised me the most is when we were walking by that person and we managed to see them, they were trying to get on a bus. The person was still talking about having family problems all the way until the end of the bus stop. But what surprised me is when that person got onto the bus and sat down near someone else, they acted like nothing ever happened like 2 minutes ago. They were talking to that person like they knew them, like, oh, hi. They started like a normal conversation. The person that we saw that was talking to themselves, at first we just spotted them talking angrily, going up and down as if she was talking to multiple family members. As soon as she got on the bus, it's as if none of that ever happened in the first place. And then as soon as we were done with that, we tried to delve deeper into this topic. And when I meant delve deeper in, we started looking into mental disorders and understanding what do people experience. And we managed to go on to form this question: which was worse to have? Is it dementia or schizophrenia? Now, hear me out. In my opinion, I think schizophrenia is worse to have, and here's my reasons. Now, we've already delved into definitions of what these two, mental disorders mean, but let's delve really, really deeper. The difference between dementia and schizophrenia is schizophrenia, you can have the wildest and most unusual stories as someone with schizophrenia. And I realized this when I read a few stories of people that were affected by schizophrenia. I managed to get onto the schizophrenic Reddit, and the question was, what was your scariest, most horrific episode that you've had? And one of the stories here goes, I'm currently going through it. God speaks to me in the mornings. He told me to kill a child as a sacrifice, and he showed me exactly how to do it. He also showed me what will happen if I don't do it. The world will burn, and a meteor will crash into Earth. I am sorry, but I cannot do it. Everyone will die, and that's my fault. What the fuck? It's really, scary to understand what these people can go through. And the thing that's most surprising, they manage, just like that old lady that we had down at the bus stop, she just managed to struck up a conversation and ignore any of those bad thoughts that she had. And that's what kind of surprises me. Now, if you compare that to dementia stories, most of the time dementia, it's old family members that managed to they don't get as wild as these, at least compared to dementia, in my opinion. Dementia, from my experience, I managed to go back home and visit one of my family members that developed dementia. When I visited that family member and I was sat down next to them, they remembered me somehow from a trip that we made just a few years ago. And so when he first saw me, everyone was like to him, you know, oh, do you remember who we are? He looks around all of my family members, and he just looks at me and he's like, oh yeah, I remember you. We went to that trip, and I got told by the family member he never remembers stuff like this. And that really, at least with dementia, you can have those memory flashbacks from time to time, but not schizophrenia. Like, I hear this, and I wonder to myself. I'm very, first thing I wonder is I'm very thankful that I'm in a position where I don't have mental disorder. But to the people that do have it, I genuinely feel empathetic, because one moment they can strike a conversation with you and you don't know what's going on with them, just like the old lady from the bus stop. After we ended that conversation, we ended on a high note saying, we're very thankful in the position we are in this life. These people are genuinely suffering every day, and we don't even realize it. If I were to concur on this debate, I would probably say, in my opinion, schizophrenia is much worse or more scarier compared to dementia. If I were to end, if I were to end this video on a high note, I would probably say, you know, I really empathize with people that have mental disorders. And I don't understand what you're going through, but I can at least, try to understand the position that you are, and how you're very, out of control of it. Other than that, to be honest, I think I'm done yapping for the day. See you in the next one.